All right, my man. We are live on YouTube. Welcome to G Slade's Indie Music Showcase. Today I am talking with Miroj. How are you, man?
I'm good, man. How you doing, G Slade?
Pretty good, man. I'm glad to have you on. I know it took us a while to get to this. We talked about it a while back, but I'm glad we could do it. Where are you at, man? Tell me about where you are right now.
So man, I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, man. I've grown up in the Atlanta area. Uh, for the majority of my life, military brat. My dad was in the military all the way up until 1994, I think.
Yeah.
And then we moved to Georgia when I was in kindergarten. Or going right into kindergarten. So I've been here ever since. My
Was he at
parents have had
Benning?
this. You said what?
Was he at Benning, Fort Benning?
No, my dad was at Fort Huachuca in Arizona.
Oh, okay. I was thinking Fort Benning down there in Columbus, Georgia.
Yeah, now we moved here from Arizona, and I just been here ever since.
All right. You didn't
Yep.
join yourself?
You said what?
You didn't join yourself? You didn't go military?
No, man. No, man. I didn't. I had other plans for myself. I tried to midway. I wanted to finish school. That was always a big goal because a lot of people, my parents, especially my dad, grew up, very, 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 poor. So my mom, her side of the family, not so much, but my dad, very much so. Comes from a family of 8 brothers and sisters. Very country, very country town that he comes from. Not a lot of opportunity there. And my grandmother was just basically struggling to scratch out a living. Uh, you know, for my aunts and uncles and my brother my dad. And so, he didn't get the opportunity to go to school. And so for me, and I will admit, I think it was more something for my parents just to see that smile on my parents' face, or to make the fruits, make them proud off the fruits of their labor. That's why I took the school approach, coming out of high school and everything. I was just kind of on that path. So,
Right. No, that's great, man. Yeah, I didn't join either. My dad was in the military, but I don't know. Sometimes I wish I had, but it is what it is at this point.
yeah, yeah.
Um, well, yeah, Atlanta's a pretty hot hip hop scene. You almost didn't have a choice but to do it living out there.
Yeah, that's the funny thing, I started off just as like an athlete, man. My whole life I was involved in sports. And so, I bring a locker room approach to a lot of things I do in life. Um, Music was one of those things that, growing up in my house and, just growing up in the area we growing is you don't have a choice for it to really be a part of your life. I think you kind of just take to it, and just have it, even if you're not doing it, you got a love and appreciation for it. But I always had a real love for it, and I was always very poetic, and just good with speaking and good with writing. But I just more so focused on sports and stuff like that throughout high school. Music was something that I kind of did in secret for a while. Um,
Why in secret?
uh, I grew up in a really super religious household, bro. You know what I'm saying? Especially so, when it comes to things like rock and roll or hip hop or a lot of more aggressive genres, of course, the things that come with them, it could be a thing that's kind of frowned upon, especially being down here in the South. They like to call the South the Bible Belt. People go to work Monday through Friday, Saturday.
Party on
And
Saturday.
they party on Saturday and Sunday. Everybody's in church, man.
Acting like they didn't party.
So it was one of those things that I kind of was like for a while, due to my upbringing a little bit, I shied away from it, but it was just in me. You know what I mean? It was just in me. I always had that talent. I would do that, in private, just even if it was on a poetic level as a release for myself. So I knew it was something that was going to be a part of my life when I turned about 16.
Mm-hmm.
And then, as time went on, I just kind of brought it to the forefront and made a conscious decision to, be myself fully, regardless of who feels a way about it. So,
Right on. Yeah. My dad passed when I was pretty young, but I don't think he'd like my music. He was also a preacher and in the military. So I had it from both ends, like military strictness, religious strictness. So yeah, we didn't miss Sunday school, man. Wednesday night, Sunday morning, Sunday
no,
night,
man.
home prayer study, all that stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, because I'm in Mississippi. I didn't say that, but yeah, so I'm in the general region that you're in, the
Oh
Southeast.
yeah, you
So,
get it. You
yeah,
get it.
churches and check cashing places on every corner, either one, right? You go pray for money and then you go borrow it.
Right.
That's the way we do it down here. Yeah, but Atlanta's a real hot scene, man. Most of my favorite rappers or biggest influences were, Atlanta rappers like Young Jeezy or Ti, Ludacris, people like that.
Yeah.
Really influenced my rap listening. So, who were your biggest influences? Who really got you going?
So I would definitely say that they're two of my bigger influences. Most definitely you can't avoid it. There's no way around it. I think for me, also as well, which I always shout them out on a lot of different interviews and stuff I do. I think 2 Chainz probably was the bigger influence for me, just because at an age when I really started moving and shaking, getting out, being around, you know, uh, being more social events, things of that nature. 2 Chainz, just kind of started to have his clown. Like, of course, he had stuff that he did with Duffel Bag Boys, and he used to be, or excuse me, Players Circle, but he used to be, under Ludacris's rap label for a while and stuff. But when he started to come into prominence on his own, I definitely took to him as an artist and kind of related his story in a lot of different ways. And so I think he probably was most pivotal for me. But I think your usual South artists that are not out the norm, Jeezy, T.I., a lot of those guys shaped me, I think, sonically, not so much as, so far as the content and stuff like that in my music, but definitely sonically with a lot of the different beats and stuff that they chose and the sounds that they chose, for their music to tell their story. So.
Yeah, I was the same way. I love the beats. I couldn't really relate to, the trap houses and such,
Yeah,
wasn't really what I grew up around, but the beats were just fire, man. I used to listen to what was T.I.'s album right before he went to prison. That was a really good one.
So when he got out of prison, no,
he did Trouble Man when he got out. It was the one before
he did Trouble Man when he got out. I forgot what year that was. He went to prison.
It was the one that had You Can Have Whatever You Like and I'm Illy and the one with Justin Timberlake.
Oh yeah, I forget the name of that album.
I don't know why I
forget
can't
the name
remember
of
the
that
name of
one.
it. It was a good album though. Like from top to bottom, like the first track was like just a 56 bar intro,
Yeah.
That was a pretty good album overall.
For me, that's probably not my favorite, which is probably why it doesn't connect with me. Like I know that album, but my favorite of his was probably Urban Legend. I can still remember just having my headphones on because I played basketball in high school, so that was something I listened to religiously back when CD players were were in style. That was something I listened to religiously. Had to have extra batteries and everything on me. Oh, yeah. That was like my pregame album. So
you had them little fuzzy headphones, a little foam.
Oh yeah,
man, those things were awful, weren't they? I used to fall asleep with those things on though. Now, I think I misspoke though. I think No Mercy was right after prison, and then Trouble Man was after No Mercy.
After No Mercy, right.
Yeah.
I think it might have been T.I. versus T.I.P. that may have been right before prison.
I think so, but whatever that album was, that was how I got into him, so that's what I go back to a lot.
Yeah.
Just because before that, the only thing I knew by him was the big shit popping, that song.
Yeah. See, I was on him way back off of I'm Serious and all of those too. So I'm Serious, trap music.
Right. But he was a local guy. He was a local star right before he was really
Be Easy is one of his craziest tracks of all time. I know you said you kind of got on him later, but if you ever get a chance to go back and check some of his older stuff, I would definitely say start with I'm Serious and check that out. You know what I mean? Be Easy, like I said, is one of his craziest tracks for me that to this day I still got it in my favorites on my playlist. So nice. And that's just one song, but there's definitely a lot of others.
So what about outside of Atlanta? What styles and artists do you gravitate towards?
I think the first person, and I know this is probably weird because it was just weird for me too, but believe it or not, for whatever reason, man, I just took the Lupe Fiasco probably like my senior year in high school. That's the first, and I'll admit it, because we were going through that age where we had LimeWire, FrostWire, all these different
Oh yeah.
things where you could just, you pay for the mix CD or you can go download the
Morpheus.
music
Yeah. All that stuff.
for free. So the first album I ever went and purchased was Lupe Fiasco's Food and Liquor. And you know what I mean? Kick Push, of course, was like the song that the single that he was leading with around that time. And I don't know, man, it just drew me into a different style. I felt like I related to him on more of a level as far as the content and everything. And that's when a lot of the backpack rap was starting to get popular. Kanye West, different people like that. And so, bro, I took to it. I really can't even say why. I think it was just the content, the fact that he was bringing something different than what I was used to, especially down here in the South. It gave me a change of pace or a switch up. And then I also just was always listening to a lot of older artists. My music palette is kind of been all over the place. You know, man, I would ride around listening to the Isley Brothers in high school, man. Believe it or not. And my friends would clown me and be like, man, play something current. But man, that just,
Play something
that's
with
just
an
to show
808.
like how much I really enjoyed music. Like I have a real appreciation for just good music overall.
Oh yeah.
You
Music's
know,
music, man. 100%. So, when you started writing and wanted to start recording, man, how'd you get started? And, did you have your own studio? Did you know somebody? How'd you get into actually laying down your
so like I said, I'd always been writing. I was always good with a pen ever since a kid. I think I've said it, in another interview, but I had poems as a kid published in the children's anthology of poetry, things of that nature. Was always good at writing papers, always good at putting words together, and always voicing what I felt and how I thought. And so I met my best friend in high school, P. He was the rapper first, and he also made beats, and so he kind of introduced me to taking my voice and taking what I had and putting it on wax. I had played around in the studio a few times before that, through like my teen years and stuff. Shout out to my homeboys, Kamal and Jamal. They were brothers. And they were the first time I encountered a home studio. And this was probably when I was like 13 or 14. But I used to go in there and mess around with them on and off. But that was before I really took the music serious. But I more so took it serious when I met my best friend, P. He kind of introduced me to the beats, how to pick a good beat, and he was always introducing me to just good music in general. And so I just think that influence of having him around me, and putting stuff down on wax, that's where it came from. And like I said, he was the artist at first. Had my other homeboy, Mac, who used to rap with him as well, but I used to write hooks for him. They'll take the hooks I write, from time to time, not always, but just, if I had a good hook, they'll take it and rap it. And I also wrote for other artists as well, like R&B artists and stuff. And then slowly but surely, like a lot of my friends and stuff, man, they just start moving on to other things outside of music. And so it was one of those issues where it's like one of us put it down, and somebody gonna pick it up to keep the dream going. And so, like I always tell people, man, I'm the last leg. You know what I mean? So I picked it up and I stuck with it. It was always my plan that when I finished school, that's what it was gonna be.
Yeah. So how long have you been recording your music?
I've been recording my music now for about, if we're gonna count the time when I first started with him, I've been recording my music now for over a decade, you know what I mean? But just my own personal push behind it about 6 or 7 years now. And that's where a lot of the came, investing in my own studio equipment, investing time and building people around me and finding producers to help shape my sound. That's when a lot of that started coming into play.
Nice. Do you work with, a dedicated producer? Do you buy beats, or do you do a little everything, whatever works out at the moment?
So man, I'm blessed really, man, to have people who really believe in my product and believe what I'm doing, man. I got about 4 producers that I work with religiously that have helped shape me as an artist, shape my sound. Will tell me when they like something I did or when I don't, and when they're not really feeling something or it's not up to par. My cousin right now has kind of picked up the banner as my major way from the things that you really want to do or you want to dedicate time to. And so, that's been the battle for the longest. just being it for everybody to build that consistency. But I've been blessed to have them around, you know, to help shape me as an artist. You know, it's really done wonders. So.
What about studio wise? You jump around? Do you have a main studio you work at now?
So my main studio, you actually interviewing me in my main studio, and it's, you know, this is me. So, you
I
know,
thought you might be because I thought I saw some audio panels behind
yeah, full investment, man, full investment. This is
you.
about, you know, like I said, 6 or 7 years in investment, man. You know, acoustic treatment, as you can see behind me on the wall. You can't see all the stuff behind you, but you know, studio monitors, you know, interfaces, preamps, just, you know, straight investment in myself. And you know, I record myself, gotten to the place now where my last project, I mixed that one and everything and put that out. And so that in itself was a learning process as well, to be able to come, you know, just decently proficient at that.
What are you mixing on? Pro Tools?
I'm using Pro Tools.
Pro
I'm
Tools?
using Pro Tools. Now I got some
Gotta test that
I,
out. I've never used it. You know,
yeah, I got a buddy of mine. It's very user friendly, you know, and I like I like the interface. I've seen some other ones. Like I got a buddy of mine that uses Studio One, and I got, you know, other people that use Logic and things like that. But Pro Tools is what I started with and what I was always accustomed to, and so that's what I'm probably continue rocking with.
Yeah, I use Audition just because it was the first thing I used to mix, Adobe Audition. I think it used to be called like Cakewalk or something like that, or maybe if it wasn't Cakewalk, it was something else. But it's essentially kind of like Pro Tools, has the tracks laid out. And, you know, you can do all your mixing there, and then make the backtracks in FL Studio. You ever seen that one?
Yeah, well, I haven't seen that particular DAW. No.
You ever mess around and make a beat yourself?
I couldn't hear you, kind of went out.
Oh, do you ever like do your own beat?
So the funny part is, a couple of weeks ago, I made my first 2 beats that I've ever made. And I mean, they were trash, of course. You know,
First one
it was
always
fun to
is.
do. It was fun to do them. You know, in my opinion, they were trash. They definitely need work. But that was my first time just sitting down and trying to go through them on my own. I did them on GarageBand because that's what I had. I haven't really invested in any, you know, producing software like that to that degree, because that wasn't something that I was planning on doing or touching. But as my music, you know, as I become more musically inclined and grow in different areas, like I said, I'm already doing recording. I'm already engineering myself. I already write everything. It's just like, I feel like that's probably going to be the next step for me. And so, you know, it gave me a bigger appreciation for what producers do and the talent that they have and the time that it takes, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I do make my own backtracks and beats, and I still appreciate a good producer because there's such a expertise there. The ones that can really do it, you know.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
you
crazy.
can't take that shit for granted, man.
No, I mean,
You can't.
anybody can go make like a kick snare, you know, 808 snare, you know, synthesizer track, follow a chord progression, but to really make it pop and make it something you want to hear is man, it's a gift. You know, some people have it. So I know you said you're working with some producers that you're close with, but if you could work with any producer, who would you work with? Anybody in the world? They're lining up and you get to pick one.
For real.
Nice. Why Pharrell?
Gotta be for real. Man, because for real, I just feel like he has his palette for sound, and he's, of course, with NERD and a lot of different, you know, he could just tap into so many genres, man, that he's found a way to effectively bring a lot of those genres into hip hop, you know, to automatically make your sound mainstream. And I feel like he knows artists and artistry so well, just even from that side, is that like if he's heard you or knows you as an artist, so I just feel like he's even one of those producers. You walk in the studio, you know, you might start freestyling or whatever, man, he's gonna put something together that just fits you and fits who you are authentically as an artist and as a person right then and there on the spot, you know. So I've always admired him, even for what he was able to do. You know, a lot of the hot stuff he was able to do with Jay-Z, man. And you know, what they were able to give hip hop together. So If it could be anyone, it would definitely be him, man. I think his most recent beat that I love the most, man, that he produced was a song called Neon Guts with Lil Uzi Vert. Have you heard that song?
I don't think so. I'm not up on my little Uzi Vert. Unless I don't know. I've been listening to whatever comes out every Friday.
Yeah.
You know, whatever drops on Fridays, I've been listening to.
Yeah, it's not a recent project of Uzi's. It was a couple years ago that he dropped it, but that was probably, man, that was one of the coldest, like the coldest fucking beats I ever heard Pharrell do. You know, and you know he also rapped on it also. So um, that was just like, damn, man. It's, even as this dude progresses in age or whatever, you know what I'm saying, he's not stopping. You know, so if I could work with anybody, it would be him, man.
Nice. Well, shit, man. Let's talk about some of your stuff. You know, we've been hitting lots of influences and methods and different things, but tell me about your music. Basically, we could play whatever you want us to play tonight, and but I'd like to get, you know, like kind of the story behind the tracks, if you can, you know. So just give me a track to play, and then tell me about it, and we'll give it a spin.
Okay. Let's go with 45 Jordan.
All right. So tell me about that song. I'll put Spotify up on the screen, and you kind of give me the skinny on that one.
Yeah. So I started with that one because I feel like it's got the craziest backstory. So, hold on. I should have put my phone on Do Not Disturb, man. You know how people like to call you and stuff.
Let me see if I forgot to do that. I had to do that after we started, but because I don't want my phone ringing.
Yeah,
but it's cool because I'm sharing the Spotify, so that's gonna show up for the main screen.
All right, so we got Do Not Disturb on, man.
Nice. All right, 45 Jordan. Let's talk about it.
So we're 45 Jordan, man. That track, I actually got that track from one of my producers, Cuzzo Quay. So you should, you know, if anybody's on Instagram, definitely follow him. One of the most, I mean, in my opinion, man, coldest producers, you know, most known unknowns here in the city of Atlanta or the Atlanta area. And he's been, you know, he was in band in high school and things like that, man. And so sonically, he's just sound, man. His shit always just hits the right way. He knows how to put the instruments and the sounds together. And so with that one, man, that was something he gave me, man, like 2 years ago, believe it or not, 2 or more years ago. I got the beat, I went to record on it. And it's funny because in the intro, you hear me talking shit a little bit, you know, about like, damn, the intro just seems so long, kind of like just being funny because I like to give personality in a lot of my music too. But yeah. I recorded just that intro. And with a lot of my music, I'll record something. And if I'm not feeling what's about to come out my mouth, I just won't record. Like I don't force music anymore. So, you know, I feel like I'm kind of past that stage. And so,
well, tell me what you mean by that. I mean, what do you mean by force? Like, kind of explain what you mean.
Hey, man, if the vibe is not there, I'm very big on vibe. I know everybody throws that word around and it's become a coin phrase, but man, when it comes to music, I'm very big on energy, man. You know, so if the energy is not there or it's the energy that I think the song deserves, I won't do it because I just almost feel like it's disrespectful to my craft or disrespectful to what I'm doing, you know. And I feel like when you start to force things just for the sake of doing them, it becomes less and less authentic as it goes on, you know. And for me personally, I start to get in my head because now, even if I'm saying something that's the truth, I feel like my energy towards the song ain't the truth, you know. So if I have to give fake energy towards something to make it happen, I won't do it. You know, I just won't. And so, you know, I started and I went to record on it, and I don't even know what happened that particular night. I just left it with just that intro in there, me talking shit. I was working on this project, The Natural, and I took a break from mixing. I was mixing The Natural, some of the songs on there, and I took a break. And I was like, man, let's just go here. Sometimes I go through my catalog and just start listening to old stuff and, you know, reminiscing like, wow, look how far I came, you know. And I pulled that track up and I'm like, shit, this beat is hard. Like, you know, I'm listening to it. I'm like, damn, this beat hard. Why didn't I ever fucking do anything on this? So I'm listening. And at the time, I'm feeling good about the direction that the project is going in as I'm mixing it, you know, I'm getting some good songs out of this. So I'm listening, and I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm recording on this. And you know, man, next thing I know, man, I just started rapping. Like, you know, first 4 bars came, like I didn't write 45 Jordan wasn't written, but you know, it was a series of punch-ins and stuff. I'm sure you're familiar with like how artists punch in and stuff like that now. So it was a series of punch-ins, but man, I probably rapped like the first 6 to 8 bars clean. And then, you know, I just kept going. I kept going in, you know, and I just knew at that point in time that it was going to be the intention of a freestyle. And the funny fucking part about it is I named that song 45 Jordan before I ever really laid any lyrics on it. So when I, you know, was talking shit like for 2 years ago, I named the track 45 Jordan, left it. And, you know, the funny part is the natural in itself was like a comeback season for me. You know, I had a kid like 2 years ago, and so that kind of impeded my progress with the music in a way, not in a negative way, because of course it's my kid. I love her. Hey, thanks, man. Thanks. So I got a beautiful 2-year-old daughter now, but you know, I had to learn some other things in life, man, to the point where it kind of put the music on the back burner in a lot of different ways. And so the natural was my comeback season, man. And so I just felt like 45 Jordan just it was fitting. The energy was fitting.
Comeback 45 was the jersey when he came back.
Right.
I was wondering when you're going to tie in the jersey, man. I was like, what is it?
Yeah, definitely. No. So I was coming with it, but that was the idea behind it. You know, that was Jordan's comeback season. He had the 45, he wore the 45 Jordan. And so I just felt the same way about myself, and I feel the same way about my music. You know, I feel like it's a lot of greatness in me. You know what I mean? That just you know, I haven't had the right platform for the world to see yet, but you know, it was there. The energy was there, and so you know, I went ahead and completed it. So that's the story behind 45 Jordan, man.
No, it's pretty awesome. Let me cue it up, and then I'll mute my mic so we don't get crazy feedback, and we'll give it a spin. And I'm also going to add it to my playlist. So I have a playlist for the show featured on G Slade's Indie Music Showcase. So any songs we play tonight, I'm just going to go ahead and add them. Anybody watching on the screen can see it. There you go. You're on the playlist now. So, yeah. So I'm going to hit play. Let me mute myself, and we'll be right back. Talk some more music after this. 45 Jordan by Miroj. Be right back.
But it's a long ass intro. That shit like 2 minutes of talking, but it's all good though, cause I love it around my mouth. Then low key, my headphones fucked up, so I can only hear out of one ear, and it's my right ear, but I need to hear out the left ear. So it's really some bullshit. Every time I turn around, something in life trying to get in my way. I'm gonna go to the store and get another one in a little bit though. This shit going nuts. These niggas is butt. Fuck them up. All the real niggas and bitches, they know what's up. I've been freestyling for minutes, and all the days. I don't give a fuck. I ain't taking no off days, holidays. I don't give a fuck if you don't like how I be getting down. I'm the real nigga that's coming around the fucking town. Water on my side just in case in my throat getting dry. I'ma keep going once I put this in dry. Okay, I fucked up, but you know that shit is real because I fucked up and these niggas know they not really real. They talking about they had some skill, but niggas like me dressed to kill, and I don't give a damn if I ever get a meal. It's how you feel about yourself on the inside and on the out. And I don't do this shit for clowns about no motherfucking clout. Okay, used to sit around and I would motherfucking doubt, talking to myself on left or right, like what you talking about? Devil on one shoulder, angel on the other, taking cover. Lot of cussing on this shit, but you gon' have to filter it, cause my shit be smoking like Black and Mouse with a filter tit. And I ain't talking about before you freak it, it's after it. Same girl that you be fumbling, we used to pass the bit, and I'm the one they made a rebel up out of a pastor kid. They shouldn't have fucked with me. Niggas got no luck with me. Now they hate cause I'm a rude boy and I'm on my fuckery. Wagwan, my shit be ride on, it ain't no hide done. Got 2 middle fingers for hating critics to ride on. Simple physics, once this shit is up, it's going down. Cause I'm back, like 45 Jordan and it's my town. Go 45 Jordan, you niggas know I be scoring. Even when I'm out of sight, out of mind, I still be recording. They thought a nigga lost it, I told them they lost their mind. They see you put up shots, they never see the grind.
Man, that last line's so true. You don't see the work that goes into it.
No, you don't. You know, and I think like we said, name's 45 Jordan. I think it's the same way. You know, the way we kind of turned Jordan into an icon, especially during our childhood, our lifetime. You only saw what he put on the court, man. You didn't see the shit that went in behind it, all of the work, all of the lifting weights, all of the running, all of the tireless effort, even the things that he was going through on a personal level. You know, I think it's a part of the work. You know, especially with his dad dying, and him having to take that time away from basketball. I just felt like I related to that shit on a huge level. And so I feel like 45 Jordan was a freestyle where I didn't really just bar people up. That wasn't the idea behind it. The idea behind it was, like I said, it was just a freestyle for me I wanted that track to capture everything about my energy and the things that I've been through, or who I am as a person, and how I'm viewing what I'm now doing with the music, and me just being able to, stay with this shit over time. So.
No, that's awesome, man. Great motivation. Love the backstory on that. That's why I like chatting with with everybody on these songs. You get the whole story. So, speaking of Jordan, though, did you catch that the movie about him, The Last Dance?
Man, see, the funny part about that shit was I got to get through the first 2 episodes, man, and then I didn't get a chance to swing back around to it, man. So I have not gotten to watch it in full. But from what I was watching and what I saw, man, it was definitely a dope ass documentary. And it was giving a lot of insight to a lot of shit that I didn't even know was going on, in the Bulls locker room, the relationships between him and some of the players, ownership. So.
Yeah, I didn't understand the GM wanting to break everybody up, get rid of Phil Jackson and all that shit. I'm like, you guys are nuts. Phil won 5 more freaking titles?
Well, it had to be an ego thing, man.
I guess so. I mean, to me, that's just insane. You got, hell, I think Jordan could have kept playing, but I don't know. I guess what happened was what happened, but to me, it's just crazy the way it went down. But yeah, that 45 jersey, man. If you got like a basketball card wearing 45, it's probably got a little value these days.
Iconic, and I definitely have one. That's the funny fucking part.
Nice. Might be worth something, especially later on. Well, that was a good one, man. So what do you want to queue up next, man? I got all Spotify at my disposal here.
Man, let's go Levitate, man.
All right.
A lot of people like that song.
Yeah, what's the story on that?
So the story behind Levitate, Levitate was something I feel like I just needed to get out over my entire life. And I think it came together all at the right time. I've been in a position over the past 6 months to a year to really put my talent on display with the time that I have available now for people to see that I really do this shit, and also for them to get some insight into why I am the way I am, why I think the way I think, and why I move the way I move. And so Levitate gives some insight, into how my entire personality has come about, from, things that I've faced in my childhood, things that I've faced as an adult, in dealing with people, some people who say they're your friends, some people who just don't like you, for whatever reason, and you don't know why. You can never understand why, or try to just judge a book by its cover without knowing your story, And so Levitate, when I heard the beat initially, my cousin did that one, DJ Flash Horton, shout out to him. When I heard the beat initially, it grabbed me immediately, and I just started writing. It triggered something in me emotionally, where I just feel like even the content that I put on the beat just matches the beat. It's so soulful, and there's something about the song to me that's just very spiritual also. And so, that's the story behind that track, man. you know, something that I needed to get out that had been bubbling all the way up until now, to this point, you know. And with the project being called The Natural, I feel like Levitate very much so embodies, you know, how I became that natural, with just the explanation of why I am the way I am, why I move the way I move, you know, and nobody really just being able to just knock me off my square, me being a person that's going to think for myself at all times, but not meaning to cause anybody else any pain or bring any malice anybody else's way because of that, and wanting people to respect that.
100%, man. So I got some questions in the chat. We're gonna hit those up after we play Levitate. A couple people joined, had some questions. So
facts, man, definitely.
Yeah, good deal. So we'll do that. We'll go ahead and play Levitate. I'm gonna add that to the playlist, of course, for the show. We're gonna be right back. This is Levitate.
You ain't really like that for real. No. When it come down to it, I get despised for my skills. I get despised for the fact that these women wanted to chill. I got despised for the fact I grew up with love at the crib. Damn. And somehow I still managed to build. In spite of all these bills, I'm still gonna manage to kill. I done been everything whack, I done been everything black. So now I'm unapologetic, and I won't hold back. We don't ask forgiveness, everyone philosophy different, so we just move like mathematicians. You can't please them all, they mad and they got mad opinions. I'm a god, I do not owe the devil or his minions. People poking at me like they prone to practice fencing. They survey my Insta, now they think they got me fenced in. Word around town, they got me figured out. And next week they mad as fuck, cause I done picked a different route. They gon' clock me, they gon' watch me, tryna find the angle. Just in case they bump into me somewhere out at angles. You know people love to see you in that real familiar. Even when they wasn't close to being live familiar. Niggas love to brag and boast on how they knew the real you. Then downplay your current status like they couldn't feel you. It's killing them to watch you disassociate and elevate and find out you was really dope and really they been hella late. Used to medicate, now I meditate. For my next trick, bitch, I'm about to show them how to levitate. See me as aggressive, I've been hurt from all the hate. And I'm just now realizing that shit made me great. I say I'm just now realizing that shit got me straight. See me as aggressive, I've been hurt from all the hate. And I'm just now realizing that shit made me great. It's like, you know, niggas love to play fake humble. Life is about balance, so there's nothing wrong with keeping that in mind. But for sure, it's like niggas lack self-appreciation. I mean, it's only one of you. Yeah, I think that's worth celebrating. For sure. Verse 2. Good or bad, right or wrong, made me who I am. If I didn't love myself, I'd be a foolish man. I wear so many different hats, and sometimes the load is hard to carry, shit don't seem to match. So I try to take the hate and turn that shit to love. Remember I used to drown in that shit, now I float above. I knew I'd be okay, I just needed a little shove. In the right direction, of course, redirecting my force. It's so hard to make it far when all you see is trees. What about the forest? Here you gon' need both of these. Delicate balance, application of talents, allocation of funding to all these things is a challenge. So my heart be feeling callous, protecting all the things I work for, and I mean no malice. In lamest terms, I can't let nobody come fuck it up. Once you show me you got disdain for me, I give a fuck. Used to medicate, now I meditate. For my next trick, bitch, I'm about to show them how to levitate. See me as aggressive, I've been hurt from all the hate. And I'm just now realizing that shit made me great. Great, nigga. I say I'm just now realizing that shit got me straight. See me as aggressive, I've been hurt from all the hate. And I'm just now realizing that shit made me great.
All right, we are back talking to Miroj. That was Levitate. Pretty dope, man. Thanks for sharing that one.
Man, appreciate that.
Got some Q&A coming from the chat, man.
For sure. Let's answer some questions, man.
Shout out to Jeremy, and I go by Neek that joined. Um, Jeremy hosts another podcast, Life Unplugged. Shout out to his
Okay.
podcast. Great show. And I go by Neek, was a former guest of the show, another indie rapper. Very dope, very dope. But let's see. Jeremy had a couple of questions. First one was, how'd you come up with your cadence? Because he said it's different but dope.
Honestly, I don't really know, because I think every artist struggles, especially early on, finding your identity as a person, and as an artist. And so I've gone through, of course, the different cadences, your popular cadences, the cadence from your artist that you like. But for me, what I always told myself, the one thing I could say that I consciously do know, is I always told myself, when I rap, I just wanted to sound like I'm having a conversation, or like I'm talking. I just wanted to be a conversational piece. I think everybody has a certain, how can I put it, a certain rhythm and a certain octave to their voice just naturally. I think you probably talk a certain way. You probably talk with a certain rhythm. You probably talk with a certain bounce. You get what I'm saying, Slade? And so I feel the same way about myself. And so for me, it was always, how can I tap as far into that shit as I possibly can? Because that's what's going to make me different from everybody else. How can I get as close to rapping as the same way I talk when somebody's having a conversation with me, so that when I get on wax, people know beyond a shadow of a doubt, okay, this is his shit. It sounds like when I had that conversation with Miroj. Or it sounds like, if I have a conversation with Miroj, I'm gonna be getting the same person that I'm getting listening to his track right now. And so, yeah, that's where it came from, even down to the speed, the way I stop and pause, or, run off a couple bars. That's definitely where it comes from, that I could say I consciously put that in mind.
Nice.
And I think that just came over time too, just developing a confidence in myself doing what I sound like. So
yeah, I was gonna say, while you were talking, my network went on the fritz, but hopefully it'll catch up, and that's why that 20-second buffer is there, I guess. So if anybody had any network issues, sorry about that. No, that's a great answer. Jeremy had another question. He asked about your writing process. We kind of talked about it earlier, I think, before he got on, but you do, on some of these songs, I know you did like punch-ins and kind of wrote to the beat. But you were also talking how you've basically been writing your whole life. So it wasn't that big of a deal, to start writing lyrics.
Yeah, my writing process, man, I don't have a rhyme or reason to it. It's whatever, again, I go off of feeling. And it depends on where I'm at in life. That's how my writing process works. If I have a lot of things in me, or a lot of thoughts that are built up, or a lot of emotion that's built up, a lot of times, because I don't want to disturb that, and I want the listener to be able to get that raw emotion and that raw thought, I just get on the mic and I try to push myself to get that. Like, I put myself on the clock. Like, I try to push myself, and I put myself on the clock, not to put pressure on myself, but to make it as organic as possible. You know what I mean? I feel like the longer you keep thinking about some shit, the longer you got to fabricate some shit. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Not to say I'm fabricating anything, but the longer you keep thinking about some shit, the longer you got to fabricate some shit. And rap and music is about dope lines and dope concepts and shit, but it's also very much so about emotion and feeling. You know what I'm saying? People want to be able to connect with that shit. So I want that shit to be as organic as possible. Now, there are some song ideas or concepts, because what I do is write down a lot of nuances. I could be driving and seeing something, or I could be out, or I could just be chilling with family, or I could, sit back, blow one, get high, sit in the middle of the strip club, because that's big culture here in Atlanta, and just soak up that vibe from that night and be catching little nuances while I'm in there. And I'll be putting them down in my phone, and I may come back to one of those lines or one of those bars I wrote, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna build around this. And then that's when you'll hear a lot of the songs that have, and you'll hear it from me, you'll hear a lot of the songs that have more forethought to them, where I can really put that story together and everything really connects. And I think that's what Levitate definitely was. So, and I sit down and actually write those.
Jeremy's asking about beats. We kind of touched on it earlier. He asked if you made your own, and you were saying you don't, but you just tried to make a couple that didn't go so well. But you got, four or five producers you're working closely with. But it's something you'd probably like to get better at.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep tapping into it off and on as the time permits. When I have downtime or free time, I'm definitely gonna keep tapping into it because I enjoy doing it. Don't get me wrong, but of course, I'm not gonna put myself up there as a God producer, as a God producer yet. I haven't put the work in. I haven't put those 10,000 hours on it yet. So,
man, I started making beats 11 years ago, or 12 years ago now, if not 13. And I don't know. I don't do it consistently enough to say I've been doing it consistently for 13 years, but I've made several beats, every year. Some more than others, especially during February. I do FALM, February album writing month during February. So, and it's tough, man. It's hard not to make the same damn beat when you get done. Like you do one beat and it's like really good, and you go to the next one, you're like, okay, I gotta do something completely different.
Right.
The last one was good, so and speaking of strip clubs being big in Atlanta, man, don't go to strip clubs in this area. They're not. It's like the Waffle House of strip clubs around here.
Duly noted. So next time if I ever come through Mississippi or some shit, I know to stay out the way.
Going to Waffle House for steak. You know what I mean?
I know to stay out the way. I'll probably be too spoiled. Coming from the area I'm in now, though, when you got your pick of the litter, to the point where you can have a favorite strip club, You
ever seen a pregnant stripper on meth?
Oh, no.
Well, man, if you just want to see it so you can say you saw it, man, we can hook you up.
Shit, yeah, definitely. When I come through Mississippi, show me. It's always an experience, so I might be able to add that to my music in some kind of sad, twisted, sick fucking way.
Yeah. Hell, I might go do it now, too. They'll call it Waffle House.
Oh, shit.
Damn. Jeremy asked if there's any hip hop on FALM. I mean, when I participate, yeah, there is a little bit. But no, we actually have a growing hip hop community on FALM. That's FAWM.org. So if you guys are interested, check that out. You could search for certain hashtags on there to get the different genres. But definitely recommend that for other indie artists that are trying to motivate themselves to write, because the idea is to write 14 songs in 28 days. And I'm guessing for you, that wouldn't really be a problem to write 14 songs, basically a song every other day.
Yeah, if I had the time, definitely. If I had the time, I'd definitely do it,
Yeah. What else is Jeremy asking? He's full of questions tonight, which I'm glad. I'm glad he's into it.
Engaged, man. Appreciate that, Jeremy.
Yeah. He was saying the Atlanta vibe's pretty dope, and he wanted to know what strip club is the best.
Oh, that's hard to say. You don't want to ask me, Jeremy, because I like, it depends on what kind of mood I'm in. And see, I fuck around and send you. I don't know where Jeremy's from, but I fuck around and send you to the wrong part of time. But I do want to be organic and honest about what I like. So I like Blaze. I love going to fucking Blaze. I love Blaze. I love pinups and I love strokers. Now you have some of your more ritzy strip clubs that people go to, I think, which are more, which I would call like more high end, or they're a little bit bigger, of course, have more staff, more girls. But every strip club you go to is a little different. For me, I like my strip club to be a little ratchet. Not that the girls don't look good in there and shit, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like you get that organic vibe, you know what I mean, of the strip club when you go to the ones that got a little bit more ratchet to them, you know what I mean? And it's not ratchet to the point where, like Jeremy said, walk around on stage with a baby in your stomach, but it's just ratchet to a point of where, you know what I mean? I just feel like you just free the vibe in that bitch. It's not so done up. Everybody in that bitch ain't trying to be a baller or no shit. Motherfuckers is just in there vibing, you know what I mean? Catch a good conversation with a chick, even if you don't get a lap dance out the shit. She'll sit up there and politic with you, you know what I mean? So yeah. I love those three. You have others that a lot of people like too, man. It's too many to name. One of the more popular ones right now that I haven't been to yet that my homeboy was telling me about is Allure. That's a newer one. And I'm thinking he told me that one is a little bit more upscale.
Well, yeah. I mean, I will not be visiting any of them if I go to Atlanta. I don't think my wife would approve of that, but it's good to be able to tell other people.
Come on, Jeff. Come on, Slade. Come on out here. Let me get you in trouble, man.
No, thank you. But Jeremy said he's all for the ratchet. He's from Philly, though. I don't know if you heard me tell you that, but
so, okay, yeah.
He's from a pretty big area himself.
Yeah, facts.
Cool, man. Well, shit. Let's play another one, man. That was some good Q&A, but let's throw another track out there, man.
Shit, let's do Not Me.
Not Me. I'm gonna have to find that one. Is that on the new album?
Yeah, it is on the new one.
All right, let me pull up the new one. Go to album. Not Me. All right. Tell me about Not Me.
So Not Me comes from a place of just that just built up over time, man. I can't say it was one one thing or one girl, because when I made the song, my girl was like, "You made that fucking song about me," and I'm like, "No, I didn't. It's not fucking about you. Like, it really is just about my experiences with women over time that I haven't been able to express." And I just think, the way I see life and the way I see that we've been socialized as men and women, just, I can only speak for America because that's the only fucking country I've lived in. But
Same.
To a fucking degree, I just feel like we have been socialized, and it's not to knock women or not women down, so don't take this as never company, but we've been socialized that women should be on this same fucking pedestal that we don't put ourselves on, or that they don't have to put us on. When, the role of a male and female in life in general is very vital and intricate on both sides, to the unified body of any relationship, or just in general in society. I think God made men unique for a reason, made women unique for a reason, but with Not Me, it was me basically vocalizing that shit to a point of, expressing like, damn, you think you fly, I'm fly too. You know what I'm saying? You want to be appreciated, I want to be appreciated too. I think very highly of myself. And so, if you want to be down or you want to fuck with me, you know what I'm saying? You're going to have to think highly of yourself too as a woman, you know what I mean? As well as the fact of the idea of not me, or just that saying, which you're hearing the hook of the song, is just a reminder that the way this shit is set up, believe it or not, is your whole life, which the hook says your whole life you've been trying to get chose, not me, basically just speaking to women. It's like, you don't reserve the right that just because you're a woman for you to just act shitty or be shitty and think that a man is supposed to just take that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because there's this unspoken pedestal that said that we have to put you on, your whole life you've been trying to get chose. You've been the one looking for a ring. You've been the one looking to try to be married and all this shit your whole life. That's what society has told you is your end all be all. As a man, we're not really taught that shit, so I'm not looking for that growing up or even walking into manhood. I have to grow to that point, but it's just a reminder to say, hey, don't forget, like, your whole life you've been trying to get chose. So if you're trying to look for somebody to suit you, or for somebody to, to basically give you a ring or give you their hand in marriage for life, that should come with a little bit of humility or a little bit more humbleness, other than just, walking around and just because you feel like you the shit or pretty or whatever, every man has to bow down and kiss your feet or kiss your ass if you're not, necessarily bringing anything to the table that warrants that. So, that's where it comes from. My thinking could be fucked up, but that's just the way I look at it.
Got some feelings on that one.
Yeah, man.
So sounds like it comes from some previous experience,
Yeah, previous experiences overall, not just in relationships, just in general, just dating women. And a lot of the bullshit culture or the bullshit memes that I see float around on the internet on a daily basis is, to me, it's a lot of man bashing that goes on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I understand that. It's not trendy to be a dude right now. I mean,
yeah.
You should be a white dude, man. Like, we're like, I like, it's like, I'm sorry. I feel like I got to say when I walk into a room now.
Yeah, all fucking day, and it's like, I get it. What did Cat Williams say? I don't know if you watched Cat Williams, but he said,
Okay, well,
he said, you know, nah, don't say I ain't shit. Just say that your pussy keep attracting ain't shit dudes, basically. You
yeah,
know, and
that's one of
so
his best lines.
yeah, so like
dude.
like every dude is not some bullshit, or every dude is not ain't shit because you kept attracting bullshit dudes in your fucking life. And so you don't get to walk around with this fucking attitude and shit on, you know, shit on dudes who may not fall into that same mind, you know, that mindset that you've seen from other guys that you fuck with. So, you know, don't treat me in that regard. Have some respect, you know, because I'm gonna respect you. You know, you can only lose my respect. I'm gonna give you the utmost off the break.
Yeah, there's a weird kind of contradiction there when you hear talks about, you know, everything should be equal between men and women and this and that. And it's like, do you really want that, or just the parts that help you? Like,
ooh, you said something there, Slade. You said something there.
and now don't get me wrong, I'm happily married. My wife and I have a great balance, but you know, obviously I'm not speaking about her. Love you, Jess. But you know, I see it a lot. Just in general with today's culture, you know, if you're a man, it's like your fault that, you know, this woman doesn't have a job or doesn't pay as much when, like, I don't know about you, but I haven't passed any laws. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not writing any laws. I'm not
I'm
out
just
there.
here.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like I'm just here like you, trying to scratch out a living, trying to make the best of this shit.
My girls, you know what I mean? Like I'm raising 5 girls and a boy. Like, I'm not gonna teach them to dislike men. I'm like, I'm a man. Like, that'd be stupid.
Right.
Yeah, but no, I can relate. That's a loaded subject, man. I could talk about that all night,
all day.
You can get in trouble talking about that in the wrong crowds, but I'm interested to hear these lyrics now. But man, I just noticed like your album art. You're on the same damn couch, aren't you?
Yep.
Cool. You guys play chess? Is that chess?
Yeah, I do. Picked something I picked up from my granddad, man. Pastime I picked up from my granddad, man. Definitely made me a better thinker and a better man.
Oh yeah, I love chess.
You know, yeah, I love it, bro. I love it. So, I just don't run into a lot of people who play, so I don't play it as often, but I definitely love it, man.
Yeah, we'll have to get on an app or something.
Definitely.
I might have to download it again. Yeah, cool, man. Well, let's do it. Let's play Not Me, and we'll be right back. Let me mute real quick.
Give a fuck about who you text, bitch. Give a fuck about who you call. Give a fuck about who you text, bitch. Give a fuck about who you call. Give a fuck about who you text. Give a fuck about who you call. See that pussy, that's your pussy, it ain't mine, cause we involved. So if you wanna fuck it off, then you gon' come up off them draws. And that's for me, or for free, or that nigga down the hall. What I look like chasing you? It's my story, you ain't tryna be part of it. I'm erasing you. It's like you think I'm supposed to live to show you who I'm faithful to. Tell me how that's supposed to work when you ain't got no faith in you. Exactly, you can't tell me shit. I always keep you thinking, but you used to drowning niggas in emotions, so you hate it. You can't see how bad you fucked up cause you love manipulating. All them fucking temper tantrums ain't gon' work with me, it's crazy. Only thing you know is that you wanna be desired. Ain't nobody ever told you to aspire and go higher. See a real nigga know a real woman when he see her. I might fuck with your potential, but you gotta wanna be her. I'm really him, so you gon' have to really be her. Or otherwise, you gon' end up with your feelings hurt. And your man make the money, money never make the man. So don't think you fucking over me, cause you don't see the plan. Your whole life you been trying to get chose. Not me, not me, not me, not me, not me. Your whole life you've been trying to get chose. Not me, not me, not me, not me, not me. Your whole life you've been trying to get chose. Not me, not me, not me, not me, not me. Your whole life you've been trying to get chose. Not me, not me, not me, not me. No, sir. I understand the game. You missing it, acting ignorant. You don't get your way, you be popping off all belligerent. Match your energy, now you crying and acting innocent. Talking about how I don't empathize with all your sentiments. I don't feel it. All that capping, you might as well kill it. Tell whoever you want I'm toxic, I be the villain. Why these women think cause you with them that they your ceiling? It's one on every room and every level in the building. You ask me how I know, I can tell you it cause I built it. You opened door at 5 on level 1 and went to chillin'. You fucking up the tour and it's fucking with my vibe. I'm the host, but what happens when I'm done being nice? I'm really him, so you gon' have to really be her. Or otherwise, you gon' end up with your feelings hurt. And your man make the money, money never make the man. So don't think you fucking over me, cause you don't see the plan. Your whole life you've been trying to get chose. Not me, not me, not me, not me, not me. Your whole life you've been trying to get chose. Not me, not me, not me, not me, not me. Your whole life you've been trying to get chose. Not me, not me, not me, not me, not me. Your whole life you've been trying to get chose. Not me, not me, not me, not me. No, sir.
I forgot it keeps playing. Yeah, man, I blame Disney, man. Disney tells all these girls to just sit back and wait on Prince Charming, right?
Man, are you like my Caucasian soul twin, man?
Maybe so, man. I mean, you look at the Little Mermaid. This chick gave up her voice for this dude she knew for like 5 seconds when she had a concussion.
Yeah.
Or he had a concussion. They both had concussions.
But yeah, man, that's why I said socialization, man. And I read in and I think about stuff and see how it's compared to the life. And it's like, yeah, bro, that's really how they get socialized. Like, it's a whole princess mentality. It's just like, all I got to do is show up and just, and I'm not saying all women think like that at this point in time, but, they are definitely influenced or have been socialized in that manner. All I got to do is show up, look like a princess, be pretty, and then you're supposed to do everything else. I can talk to you the way I want to talk to you. I can treat you however I want to treat you. And, if you say any fucking thing about it, then, there should be a problem on my point. That, deaf to you, you should feel like less of a man, and it's like, man, that's the furthest fucking thing from the truth, So, I've just always wanted to address that,
It's weird too, because if you could compliment a girl, not that I do that anymore, being married, I don't go around complimenting strange women or whatnot. But, if I was single, I'd be scared to give a girl a compliment, especially like at work or something, be like, you look nice today. They'd be like, oh shit,
Right.
I'm like,
yeah,
rap, you're literally giving you a compliment. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? Like, so I think it's made us less polite, less sharing between it, because you can't just be honest, because not everybody's most people aren't predators, man.
Yeah, everybody's not a predator, and everybody's not a fucking asshole. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, some are,
and some are, but I think I've been put in a lot of positions where, it's well, now you're being mean, or you're not. That's not something a real man would do or say. After continually put in immense amounts of pressure, or just throwing me all levels of just fucking disrespect. Like, I'm not a human that has feelings too, just because I'm a guy. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I just don't think that shit is right, man. So I mean,
it takes two to tango, but on the flip side of that, I don't have, how like dudes are cool if they get a lot of chicks and all that, it's considered cool, but
right.
I don't care if chicks do that. Like, if you're a chick and you can score a lot, cool.
Yeah, do that. Do that. And I think it's about how you treat people at the end of the day. Is what it boils down to.
I think as long as you're living for you, right? Living for you, not for somebody else, you're probably doing the right thing.
I mean, I've dealt with girls that I knew, were openly had a lot of chicks, and at the time, I mean, a lot or girls that had a lot of dudes, openly at the time, and they knew that I had a few chicks of my own. You know what I mean? So it's like, but some of those girls, very same girls, treated me a lot better than girls that, didn't have a lot of dudes per se, or weren't, I don't know if you want to use the term promiscuous or whatever the case may be, but you know, like,
whatever.
So it comes down to a personal thing of how you treat people. You know what I mean? I think that's the element that on both sides, male and female, people are forgetting. You know, how you treat people is very important, man.
What really put it in perspective for me was I was like, am I going to raise my son differently than I raised my daughter? And if I am, is that correct? You know, I should probably tell them this. I mean, because self-respect. So whatever I tell my son counts. You know, I should tell my daughters the same way. You know, I just want them to be safe, be happy, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's about it, man. You do that, it doesn't affect me, you know, how they live their life.
Right.
I just want them to do their thing. But yeah, man, that's a whole conversation right there, man.
Right.
Good shit. Man, I mean, we could do another song if you got time. I got time.
Yeah, I mean, I got time, man. You know, I got time. So, you know, if you want to run another one, we can, man.
Let's do it. What we got?
You can run NTP. It's got like, so it's one of those songs where it kind of dips off into like a second whole song of itself. But after like the first portion, so it gets kind of long. So after like the first portion, though, we can cut it. And we could just talk about it because that was the major meat of the song.
I got you. Well, it's only 4:19, man. I got songs that are 8 minutes. So.
Okay, all right. You know, in the hip hop world, 4 minutes is a long time now. So, you know, you just never know.
But see, I'm a metalhead naturally, and then I gained a love for hip hop. So I like fuse them. So I do like 8-minute rap rock songs. You know what I mean? And
right.
Fuse all that. So, man, I'll listen to a 10-minute song. You ever heard of the band Rush?
No. I'm going to check them out now that you said something though.
Yeah. Check out Rush. They'll put out a whole album with 3 songs on it. You know what I mean? Because they're just these long songs. But man, talk about musical freaking geniuses. It might even inspire something that you want to, you know, do on a beat or something, you know.
Bro, I'm always definitely down to listen to like new music I haven't encountered, you know, and see, you know, see where it can take me or what kind of space it puts me in. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, check out Rush, RUSH. All right, well, let's do NTP. Tell me about it though before we play it. What's this one? What are we getting into?
So NTP stands for Nothing to Prove. And I made that the outro because naturally the name of the project was The Natural. And I really feel like in the culture that we live in, you know, and I'm just speaking, not to make things racial, but I'm just speaking from a black male perspective and going back to society again, what gets put on display in hip hop culture, and basically what the running narrative in hip hop culture is that, you know, naturally I just feel like, you know, they portray young black males as we gonna fucking shoot some shit, we gonna rob some shit, and we gonna sell some fucking drugs while we doing it if we got time. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Basically like thugs, hooligans.
That's what the fuck it boils down to at the end of the day, is in the way that we're portrayed, and that's what the big dollars are going behind in this you know, major you know, media or mass media industry. So like, but it couldn't be further from the fucking truth, man. Like, you know, like there are black people who are still living in very you know, just financially and economically, you know, fucked up situations where they are put in positions to live certain lifestyles, or more you know, they have more of a predisposition to be exposed to certain things. But man, for a good portion, or, you know, the better portion of blacks in this country, people are not fucking living like that. You know, we have regular 9-to-5 jobs just like every other race of people in this fucking country. You know, we go and get educated just like every other race of people in this fucking country. You know, we have talents and skills and abilities outside of rap music and shit like that, or just, you know, trapping and shit like that. You know, the normal bullshit that just gets portrayed all the time. And it's not that I'm against those things, because I have friends or you know, family members and people who have been a part of that culture, you know, in their life. They really live that shit. But all of us don't have to. But I feel like because of the fact that that's what gets portrayed, it puts so much fucking pressure on a lot of these young guys now, even me growing up, to feel that you have to fucking portray some shit that may not be you. For the sake of your respect as a man, and specifically where it comes to women, especially in this rap shit, you know what I mean? It's the dudes with money that can make it rain and do all that other shit and fly you out and pay for this, buy that Birkin bag, do all that other shit that they deem to be the best suitors. And if you don't do all those things, or you don't have the means to do all those things, you just have a normal job or just work a regular job and shit, that, oh, you fucking broke and this, that, and the third. And so it causes a lot of dudes to reach, in my opinion, to start doing shit that's not really them for the sake of their respect. And oftentimes, even as a male, no matter what color you are, we do things to attract women or attract females or to get smashed, you know, just simply put. So like, basically, Nothing to Prove is about that. Nothing to Prove is a song that is talks about the counterculture or the antithesis to that bullshit, and me embodying that and being that. You know, that person that says, man, I ain't got nothing to prove. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you don't fuck with me, for me, it just is what it is. I'm not gonna feel pulled to go and be on some bullshit or do some bullshit that ain't me for the sake of you liking me or for the sake of trying to get girls. You know what I'm saying? It's just not gonna happen. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's where the idea for that song comes from.
So you think it's hypocritical at all? You take some of the moguls, right? You know, P. Diddy, Jay-Z, you know, etc., that live the corporate life, right? They're making money, they got product lines, they got board meetings, they got investments. But the music, the image they portray that they're selling to people is still kind of that what you're talking about, that street lifestyle. You know, do you find that to be off-putting that the artists themselves are putting that image out there while living completely differently?
When you think about it on a conscious level, I mean, hell yeah, it's off-putting. Hell yeah, it's contradictory. But when it comes to entertainment, and this is what people don't understand about kids, like their mind is not fully developed like that. You know what I'm saying? And even a lot of adults, they're not in a place where their mind is fully developed to understand that, oh shit, this is entertainment. Even if that person who's entertaining you lived that life 20 years or 15 or 10 years ago, you know what I'm saying? To be able to tell that story vividly, some people can't make the fucking connection, especially when it comes to kids who are influenced by a lot of these guys because they didn't have a male influence in their life, or just even if they had a male influence and that's what's cool amongst their peers, their mind's not fully fucking developed yet to understand that this shit is just fucking entertainment. But it's a business. It's the entertainment business. And so on the back end of that, I really don't get upset, or I can't get upset with that, because these guys are in it to make money. You know, you're not going to put, not to say that's the direction that I'm going to go with my music, but I understand it. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. At the end of the day, they're in it to make money. It's a business. You're put there to entertain. When somebody goes on stage and entertains, even if it's fucking, who's a good actor right now? I don't want to say some old ass motherfucker, you know, but you know, if an actor goes on stage or gets in a movie or some shit, that character that they're fucking playing at that time is not who they are in real fucking life. Yeah. But that's how they make their living.
I had that argument on Facebook one time because somebody was criticizing Beyonce or something for dancing dirty on stage, but then claiming because she was working with Michelle Obama. This is back during the Obama administration. And she was doing something and people were criticizing her because she dances on stage and whatnot. And I was like, yeah, but that's a performance, right? That's, like you said, an entertainment. Nobody thinks Anthony Hopkins is really eating people, even though he plays Hannibal. Right. You know what I mean? Like, that's stupid.
Right. If she didn't do that shit, how long would you be at her fucking show? And would you pay all that money that you paid for one of those tickets to her show? She has to entertain you.
Right. And I definitely didn't mean to say like it's only like, you know, rap moguls that are doing that contradiction. I mean, they, you know, were exploited for the benefit of these record companies for years. So definitely nothing wrong with them cashing in on it. I was just wondering about your personal take on it.
Yeah, definitely. No, I understand where you're coming from with that. But yeah, that's my personal take on it. I mean, of course, I think that's not a secret. It's not a big secret now. Everybody knows it's a damn contradiction, but it's like I can't really hold them accountable for that shit. This is a business. It's called the entertainment business.
Right. They gotta get the money, right? And then they do, you know, they do a lot with the reinvestments and, you know, there's great things going on from the artists that become the record labels or the CEOs and whatnot. You know, I think they do better things with the money. Especially like the stuff Kanye's doing. You know, he's doing some really interesting things out there. Jay-Z, obviously. Yeah, well, let's play the song, man. That was a good chat about all that, and I can completely understand what you're saying. I mean, yeah, if you just went on the media representation of people, it give you a terribly skewed idea of a lot of different people. So I could completely relate to that. And I mean, not on the same exact wave you're saying, but I understand what you're saying.
No, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna get my words straight here in a second, man. Let me play this track. NTP, Nothing to Prove. Miroj, we'll be right back.
I'm leaving footprints all on the golden sand.
Half a brick, half a brick, half a brick, half a brick.
I wish I can, I think I can, I know I can. Most niggas just want some pussy and go to moving. I'm leaving footprints all on the golden sand.
Half a brick, half a brick, half a brick, half a brick.
I wish I can, I think I can, I know I can. I wish I can, I think I can, I know I can. I wish I can, I think I can, I know I can. I'm leaving footprints all on the golden sand. I'm leaving footprints all on the... Ho told me life was a beach chair, and so I be there. Even when I'm not really near it, present in spirit. Close my eyes, take a deep breath, then I can hear it. Perfect harmony, that shit like a song with a lyric. Life is like a glass with Windex after you smear it. That mean it's finna look a little fuzzy before it get clarity. Kinda like these niggas' jewelry, man, that shit be scaring me. Take a special nigga to flex and some fake shine. Post this shit online like these niggas won't take mine. If they did, tell me what the fuck they finna do with it. Never mind, if you cool with it, then I'm cool with it. Guess I can't relate, cause I ain't really into proving shit. What's understood ain't really gotta be explained. I'm cool and I ain't really into proving things. Most niggas just want some pussy and go to moving things. Most niggas just want some pussy and go to moving. It go quarter brick, half a brick, whole brick, ayy. Brick, them hoes called you broke, then you went to feeling played. Quarter brick,
half a brick,
whole brick, them hoes called you broke, then you went to feeling lame. Underestimating, overcompensating, contemplating. You just move reckless, not militant, and it's nauseating. Trying to pick up what it is you claiming to be propagating. You just try too hard like you shitting, but you be constipated. Used to walk around stressing like I gotta make it. Then I stopped and thought about it, what's making it? Then I figured out that shit is what you say it is. Wouldn't know that you was broke unless somebody told you. Have a TV and remote unless somebody showed you. And then once you get exposed, feel somebody owe you. And somehow you the one that's in debt. That shit a paradox that I ain't figured out yet. Either way, less pandering, more pondering. More or less is more, in case you've been wondering. Your feelings got you taking risks for bitches you've been sponsoring. All because some basic asshole called you broke. What's understood ain't really gotta be explained. I'm cool and I ain't really into proving things. Most niggas just want some pussy and go to moving things. Most niggas just want some pussy and go to moving. It go quarter brick, half a brick, whole brick, ayy. Brick, them hoes called you broke, then you went to feeling played. Quarter brick,
half a brick,
whole brick, them hoes called you broke, then you went to feeling lame. Most niggas just want some pussy and go to moving. I wish I can, I think I can, I know I can.
half a brick, half a brick, half a brick, half a brick.
I'm leaving footprints all on the golden sand.
Half a brick, half a brick, half a brick, half a brick.
Ayy, I wish I can, I think I can, I know I can. Most niggas just want some pussy and go to moving. Yeah. Yeah. Lazy flow, I ain't feeling hype, still a crazy flow. Just when you think you fucking with me, you got a ways to go. Niggas think they doing something, but really be horse shit. It's some other real niggas like me who ain't gon' force shit. How the fuck fuck you skywalking and don't know what the force is? Bitch, you ain't fly out designer clothes in a fortress. We was cracking hoes that these niggas sweating on Instagram, and that was back when we weren't having shit, so we don't give a damn. Fuck the best bars, bitch, I really ain't even thinking hard. Say some surface shit and you shallow niggas be blinking hard. Leave them looking at me like, who the fuck do you think you are? I'm a one-on-one and been him, don't need to be a star. I'm just a natural, don't make me get after you. Bitch, I'm up now, not next and never after you. I'm just a natural, don't make me get after you. Bitch, I'm up now, not next and never after you.
Man, I like that switch up, man. That's pretty cool. I'm glad we played it all the way.
Yeah, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite one so far, honestly.
But believe it or not, that's a lot of people's favorite one. And the funny part is, I ended up like a lot of these other artists. That was not my personal favorite, wasn't my pick. And that is the one that is everybody seems to be fucking gravitating to. And I just didn't think everybody would. So that gives me a real appreciation for the fact that people are listening to what I'm saying, you know.
I thought it was good. I like how I can hear what the fuck you're saying. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
That's one of my favorite parts. I got nothing against like tongue twisting and all that, but man, I'm like, what's the point of rapping if I don't know what you're saying? The whole point is to like tell me something, right? Give me a message. So I appreciate that. I gravitate towards those rappers that articulate. Although I am a huge Bone Thugs and Harmony fan, and they kind of like, were some early, pioneers of that fast pace, but you can still understand them pretty well.
Right.
Man, who's your favorite like old school rapper? Like for me, I was a kid. I was in like 3rd or 4th grade in a small country town, but I went to the public school, and most of the white families went to private school, and I went to the public school because we were pretty broke. And so most of my friends were black kids, and so they were always playing rap music. And Tag Team, you remember them? They did like
Tag Team back again. Talking about that. Yeah,
that was the first song I learned. I thought I was so cool because I knew the lyrics to it. And like that's what got me into rap. And then I heard Bone Thugs and Harmony later, which really got me into it even deeper. But
yeah.
I mean, who was that for you? Like that first? Snoop.
Yeah, nice. Snoop. My mom, that's all the fuck she listened to. Back before shit started getting real religified around my house.
I was gonna say that's not very churchy.
Yeah, back before shit started getting real religified around my house. That's all the fuck my mom would listen to. We would get in the car. I can still remember being 5, 6, 7 years old. My mom having those Dog Pound albums, as well as the Snoop albums, and man, just as a kid, I just always thought he was the fucking shit, from his look to just, how he came on the track and, portrayed things and told his story. I thought that shit was dope as shit. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, it would have to be Snoop, just as favorite. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Cool. Well, shit, man, you got any like merchandise out there people can get? Have you started doing that yet?
I haven't started doing merch yet. We have some ideas on the way. I definitely have my logo and everything for my label and my brand. So we have some things coming soon that'll be on the way. So you guys keep a lookout for that. Follow my movement on Instagram _MIROJ _. That's _Miroj _ just keep a lookout, man. We got a lot of different things coming very soon. We're putting it together. So just be patient with us, please, because we are truly independent as a team. We're working and moving together, and sometimes there's not always enough time in the day to do everything.
I mean, you can come back on here when you got more stuff put out, man. That's what. If you have another album or another single, or you want to
definitely, bro. That's what I'm looking to do, is just continue to build lasting connections, man. Hell yeah! If I could circle back, then I'd be on this shit.
I've already had a few people come back for a new show because they had a new video or dropped a new EP or something. So no stuff there at all. And then what was the other account? Because you originally messaged me on a different account. It was like 925.
So that was my manager who reached out to you first. Jay Wright, shout out to him. But yeah, and you can follow his management page at I think it's _9, and that's the number 9 number 2 5 Management, MNGMT, if I'm correct.
Something like
But if you
that.
type in it should come up.
I know I tagged it on my Instagram post. I believe it's tagged. 'Cause I didn't understand that it wasn't you at first. I was like, "Where?"
Yeah. Yep. That was my manager.
I got you. Yeah. So that's a cool account. In fact, I should have it. I don't know. Well, I sent a bunch of people an ad for the show, so that conversation. Oh, here it is. It's actually 925_MNGMT. So like,
yeah, I knew it was something something to that effect.
Yeah. So all right, cool. So the emails went to James. All right, I got you. Cool. What's that logo you got on that hoodie? I've been eyeballing that. It looks pretty cool.
So, this is not something I made. I bought it from the store. It says Grand Lake. I am not so as you can see too, I'm not one of these designer wearing ass rappers. And I've never gravitated to that shit over my whole life. Not to say I won't ever put any on. I just never been a Louis, Gucci, Prada. I never gave a fuck. I
thought it looked dope.
Yeah, but so this is the kind of shit I be wearing. Like I probably paid like $15, $20 for this hoodie. I don't even know what brand it is. It just says Grand Lake. I think I got it from might have been H&M or something like that.
Yeah, it has the colors you wanted, right?
Yeah. It had the look I wanted, it had the color I wanted, so I put that shit on.
I pretty much wear any hoodie or anything Adidas, basically.
Yeah, I got a couple of Adidas jackets too, man.
Oh, another artist you should check out is Fever 333. If you hadn't heard of them,
Fever 333. I'm gonna type that down and put it in my phone now.
Yeah, they're so dope, ridiculous. Especially if you get to see them live. Like, if you ever hear they're coming through, go to their live show. You won't regret it. They're rock, but the dude has a very hip hop spirit and vibe and edge. But it's really like heavy social commentary type stuff.
Okay.
I think
and I've been looking at, like, I'm at this pass right now with hip hop, not where I'm like not burnt out, but I'm looking to explore other genres and see how I can bring that into what I do. Not that I've never explored other genres, but just be more tapped in to other things out there. Like my cousin, he also does EDM. He's an EDM DJ. Shout out to him. So if you hear in a lot of the beats that I get from him, you'll get a lot of those EDM elements and shit like that in there. And some of the tracks I asked for that shit. Like at the end of that last track we played, NTP, that last tail end on that switch up was more of EDM based type of, beat with a lot of the screeches and stuff. So, I've recently kind of gotten into that. He's pulling me over to that side a little bit, and I'm liking definitely what they're doing on the EDM scene.
I was looking at the last two artists that I was checking out, and it's one's Lil Durk and one's Lil Skies. I don't know if you're familiar with either of those. I'm
familiar with Durk and I'm familiar with Skies. Durk, I probably have honestly only listened to one of his songs. Yeah. Skies, I don't shit on anybody, so he's popular. So
doing his thing.
It's somebody likes it, but I just
not your
with
vibe,
any
right?
artist, just like somebody looking at me, they look at a certain imagery first is what's going to pull them in. And so for me, just looking at his image is not something that's really drawn me in yet. No disrespect to him. Maybe no
worries. Like I say, I just whatever comes out every Friday. I'm usually like playing darts with my son or something, and we'll alternate between the new releases on hip hop and the new releases on metal. And so those were just the last few that I listened to. Nothing's really blown me away. There's been a couple things here and there that I like, but what I do is I'll play an entire album to see, what somebody has, because sometimes there'll be like a gem in there, that
right.
You discover. But shit, I like The Natural, man. I'm gonna have to throw this one in my rap rotation.
Please do that, bro, and tell everybody you know, brother. Tell everybody you know, man.
Yeah, no, I'll do that. I'm always sharing different music here and there, and I try to lean towards indie. There's enough people sharing the big guys, They don't really need me to share them, so I try to share the indie artists. As an indie artist myself, man. As an indie artist myself, I understand it. I have a full-time job. I have a full-time family. So trying to do the show and make music. So I understand the indie hustle. I don't even want to make money on music. I just want it to pay for itself. You know what I mean?
Right.
That would be great. But one thing I like to do towards the end of each conversation is see what advice you have for other aspiring indie artists, because a lot of my audience are other indie artists.
Fuck. Whew. I don't want to say some like cliche ass shit. Like, I just want to give you the real based on my journey with this shit.
Well, we already know don't give up. We already know.
We already know don't give up. Fight to the end, quit, right?
We already know that shit,
So I'm gonna give you business advice, indie artists.
Let's do it.
Let's talk about that. First of all, first things first is that you cannot do everything on your fucking own. You can't. It's fucking impossible. It's these major labels. You have to understand that one thing's for sure too. When you jump in this shit as an indie artist, you have to keep in mind that you're not just competing against other indie artists. And I don't mean to make it a competition, but you're not in a pool where with other creatives. Some of these creatives have a huge fucking machine behind them. Just like he just mentioned, Skies, Dirt, a lot of these other artists, they have a fucking machine behind them that has plenty of cash, plenty of never-ending cash, connections with all of the major media outlets, things of that nature. And so it is in your best interest to not think that you can do everything by yourself. Do everything you can to build your team, expand your team, and make genuine connections with people who believe in what you're doing. Fuck with who fucks with you, and at the end of the day, you'll be a better artist and a better person for it. That's first things first. If I could give anybody any advice, it's going to take a team. And shout out to mine.
Piggyback on that, don't work with people that are just working with you because you're paying them. Like, I think they have to like what you're doing, right? They have to believe in you, not just look at you as a paycheck,
Right.
I mean, unless you're talking about, if you're going to pay somebody to mix and master, that's worth the money, and they may not care or like your music, but they know what they're doing. But like promoters and managers, they really got to believe in you.
Right. Now, to piggyback off of my earlier point, that's not to say that you shouldn't learn all of the aspects of this hustle. Just like I spoke earlier about learning how to mix, learning how to record myself. Now moving to a place of learning how to produce. Learn how to master your craft, because what that's going to be is a safety net for you, so that if you don't have those pieces to the machine that you need, if you don't have that engineer that you need, if you don't have that producer or those producers that you need, if you don't have the money to pay for that studio time that you need to pay for, you can take money that you have, from wherever you're making from, invest in yourself for a lot of these different tools that you need to make your music, and at the very least be able to put that product together, on your own. Not to say that you shouldn't have a team. I'm just saying, be always in a position, as security for what you're doing and for your movement. Always put yourself in a position to master every aspect of the craft, even then more so that I put it to this, so that if you do have producers that you like, how to pick a fucking beat. A lot of these artists, believe it or not, don't even know how to pick a fucking beat to rap on, and what suits them and what's best for their sound, so that when a guy comes to you and says, yeah, man, I engineered that shit for $100, and you'll know whether or not it was a good fucking mix, because you trained your ear yourself to know. You'll know that if a guy says, yeah, man, I'll record you for this amount of money an hour, and you walk in and you can know whether or not he knows what the fuck he's doing, or he knows how to fit your sound the way you need it to fit when you're recording, just so that all those things. You are the captain of your ship on that shit, even if you have other people assisting you with that. So take time to master and put that time in up front. That's called artist development. And if you go to a major label, they're going to develop you as an artist anyway. So if you're indie, why not take the fucking time to develop yourself up front before you start trying to push your music? Now, and I'm taking you through the steps. You might want to jump in and say something, so I don't want to cut you off.
No, go for it, man. It's your show.
So next step after that is understand how key marketing and promotion is. I had to learn by bumping my head that it's one thing to be able to put the product together, but it's another thing to be able to put that shit on the platforms and put it to the avenues that it needs to go for people to hear your shit, man. Like, it doesn't matter how good you are. I know that shit is gonna hurt some people's feelings when I say that shit. I'm not saying I'm the best or greatest fucking artist in the world, but I get a lot of big up when people finally do listen to my shit. They like, man, you dope. Like, where the fuck have you been?
They gotta
or
hear
why
it,
is nobody hearing you?
They gotta hear it.
But nobody, but this industry is a business. So, you know, if you can't, you know, it doesn't matter how fucking good you are. A lot of these guys are on, or they have a platform because they have the marketing dollars and they have the promotional dollars, or they have a machine behind them that has the marketing and promotional dollars to be able to push their music through the pipelines and the avenues that it needs to go. So understand, you got to get out your feelings to a point to understand that this shit is a business, you know, like, and I'm just giving you some of the components of a business that I've had to learn over time. So if you could do anything, if you're working a 9 to 5 doing this, you know, some people getting money out the street too, which a lot of those guys, they making fast money and they got big cash, so they able to do a lot more. But if you're working a 9 to 5 like me and doing other shit, I would suggest finding other hustles that are going to be able to bring you money, and whatever money you're making off your 9 to 5, put that towards your bills and shit. But go ahead, LLC yourself, get a business account, get a business credit card, things of that nature. And whatever extra money that you're able, or income you're able to get in, go ahead and put a budget aside or some money together that's going to go strictly towards the music. You know, set something up for yourself so that when you go and you start talking to some of these major media outlets, you know, they're going to say, okay, well, what's your budget? And then you're going to tell them, they say, okay, well, we could put this promotional package together for you based on what you're trying to do at this dollar amount. And then we have some other promotional packages for you that we can put together too, but here's how much they're going to cost. So that is my advice. You know, and I'll stand on that shit.
Excellent, man. I think that's all great. And my wife jumped in on the chat. She also liked the switch up on that last song. So
thanks.
I'm glad we're in agreement on that.
I said, I thank you.
Yeah. I guess she's still in there. Hope so. Hope you're still in there, because I feel bad because I didn't see it. I'm sure that was a few minutes ago because we played that song a while back. But I'm just spacey like that. But no, that's all great advice, man. I couldn't have said it better. It definitely, you got to put money into it for sure. I mean, you might get lucky and get discovered and promoted, but I mean, you got to invest in, like you say, the studio. You got to put out a good product, like at least a good sounding product. You know, you can't put out bullshit mixes and things like that. You know, unless you're just really hustling, because you could have the greatest song in the world, nobody hears it. Right. It doesn't matter, right? You know,
you can't. And the way this culture is right now, that's why everything is, you know, people are moving towards clout and shit like that, because everybody's trying to go viral. Everybody wants to go viral because that kind of helps you beat the machine of having to pay for marketing, promotion, all these things. But on more levels than one, that's not going to happen for the major majority of people. You're going to have to do this shit the old-fashioned way, where you grind it out. You're able to build a following because you're able to build that marketing and promotional pipeline that you've invested money in, you know, and that's the way it's going to go for most people. And you have to be, you know, you have to have that state of realism about yourself to know that, you know. So
sweet, man. I'm excited to see what's up next for you, man. I'm gonna follow you obviously on social media and share big news when you have it. So we're gonna, you know, keep this relationship going. Appreciate you coming on the show, man.
Man, I appreciate you having me, and I definitely enjoyed the conversation. You know, this was more of an in-depth, one of the more in-depth interviews that I have happening. You know, just make it a long-standing relationship. You know what I mean? I follow what you have going as well. I was listening to some of your music today, a little bit before the before
What'd
the
you listen to?
podcast started, I didn't get to finish, but I was listening to some of your stuff today. So
Nice. Well, I hope you like some of it.
definitely. You definitely got your own style, man. From what I was hearing, and like I said, I'm ignorant to like a lot of genres outside of hip hop, so I didn't know what to like. I don't like putting people in boxes, but I didn't know what box to put it in and say, oh, it's this or it's that. I just work off of sound and how something sounds, whether or not it sounds good, you know. So
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, I hope you like some of it. I got more new stuff coming out. My style is like aggressive rock mixed with the where my hip hop comes in is my vocal cadence and things like that. You
yeah,
know,
I can hear that.
yeah, because I used to do straight rap songs, and I was like, I really want to do rock, but I discovered I couldn't give up on the influences I had in the way I write lyrical structure and the way I deliver. I'm not a singer. Like it's not really my
Right.
thing. So, but shit, dude. Yep. Let's get out of here. Thanks everybody that watched on the live stream. Appreciate that. This video will live on my YouTube channel forever. live.gsladeshow.com. This has been Miroj G Slade live. Catch you guys.